for Yabama Obibia Aquaba, Shonkoso, at the Aba POG Media. So, I sure Obibia says, I fee and Wabajumadi series, so over like him, over share and subscribe to the channel. Anyway, political trending news be a good tree, Cobra, my baby, and Hanum POG Media. So, and I push for Japan say, Yabba and you call political highways on a semi brain, so I got in 70 minutes saying, I used to see a big Mahama and I as I have a dream. Sick of the ECG cables near there, then no was a bedroom as a ciano. Heating near there, no to me standing in Bima Ciano, and no be in the can't ever bedroom. Join news, and no be in the can't answer to a crowd. I can't simply be I was a chum say. Full suited near there, then no way as I let it near there, the over Soriano Panas is no one the oil pressure that was be brainy at the day. See, I'll say. No making so a din appeam a woman and as I'm to a cry. I was for me, you will be a rubber, so men say, we are somewhere. Mr. Muslim Miyako, near the Ason Aquacuti, your kind.
Also, or the attach ECG criminality. Yehu Akwawe account ECG containers. Kronwa on the afenyoma ke born or ECG or resign here without giving us a reason. No, Attorney General Ayeni, I respect you. I am still investigating the matter. I swear to God, if I get a little piece of evidence to say it is because of your friendship with this guy, Tina, you don't want to go into the matter, you will not like me. If I get to know that you and this boy Dubik, because of your friendship, you don't want to address the ECG container theft, you will not like me. Intermediate, I'm setting the record straight. Now, this boy, Dubik Mahama, a chain smoker. Now, Wakotina Joy News. You see, Mamaka Binchiramu. Some of the media, almost say Ghana. Some of the media almost say Ghana. And I plan, especially multimedia. Media. Right now, I can tell you, say, political talk show I Ghana is solid bakwa. I can say, minya time I share a key point on TV3. I don't want the only political show Ghana. Me when say, Nipana or hostino, and they show the way it's been drafted. They show the way it's been carved. The presentation and the follow-up questions, and no one the only international reasonable show and the Ghana political show. Yeah, I'm being honest with you. So about a Saturday shows. Key point. And no Joy News idea omo say political criminals they think say they can use that cocaine media to rebrand political criminals like Dubik Mahama. And kwesichum Canada Japan catch that I say cocaine or the BA multimedia ever seen there ultimately respond here. It means it's true. I didn't know. Ghana for near him until Canada Japan catch that say who cocaine sikan or the BA multimedia ever seen there. You've not been able to clear yourself. Meaning you are an ex-criminal, ex-cocaine dealer. Per Canada Japan statement. But you see, multimedia right now what they do and they say it has become a platform and as a news outlet that always cleans up drug addicts, criminals, political criminals. And that is what they are doing for this boy because he has paid Evans Mensah. And what they are doing is, right now, every single day, no matter multimedia. So, this guy called Dubik Mahama in any country, he's not supposed to be given any platform to even speak on ECG matters. But the funny thing is, you will see multimedia since the day the news broke out, say Akwawe Yewi on the Afenyomakin connived. They came together per the investigations from the committee. The two criminals, the board chair and the ECG MD, came together to steal from us. Multimedia and actually say they will be bringing this guy on TV to be doing what? To be cleaning himself. Into a multimedia, Joy News, I just say cocaine media. What they do is they clean drug addicts, criminal, political drug addicts. Now, Mamenchiro idea be AC. And why they be a mekache Ghana for say privatization of ECG is paramount. And the government needs to hand over ECG, the operations, some of it to a Ghanaian private company. When it is foreign, I will not agree. But a Ghanaian private company needs to take over ECG. Mamenchiro idea be. Oh, because Yahweh. Okotna Joy News, the same cocaine media. And he was trying to create an impression, say, the ECG that he was board member and became MD. The ECG is an entity that has never made profits. In fact, ECG was never at the table in terms of revenue. He is creating an impression, say, remember this guy, he was a board member before he became the MDU. And there were got some multimedia catch Ghana for say, ECG, they never made revenue. And that no Ghanaian should stand up and be questioning ECG why they are not making money. Okay. Now, listen to this guy, Dubik Mahama.
Why did you merge the estate department with the
challenges that you speak of now? I mean, when you were appointed, when you assumed office as managing director, these were not new to you because you had served as board member of ECG then.
I didn't say they were new to me. I said when they all came to, it's different from when you are sitting at the board. You are a policy director. Then finally you are put in the main chair and then on a daily basis. There's one thing that I have learned in my 2 years, 4 months of occupying that chair is that the theory that Mike Tyson gave that you always have a plan until you enter the ring and you are hit in the nose. And then you realize that everything is thrown out. Because you can wake up in the morning, all systems go, everything is working perfectly. You're chugging along nicely. By 2 o'clock, there's fuel shortage here. There's this here, there's that. Now the question you ask yourself is the cost of unsold energy. So what do? You have to, but you know, one of the things that we don't give credit for because most people don't have the backstory is that ECG was never ever at the table. ECG was never at the table in terms of revenue because ECG's revenue, when I joined the board, since time immemorial and everybody was talking, was always like this. There's no utilities revenue that flatlines.
Always on the same wavelength.
It was about 450, 500 million, 450, 500 million. But thanks be, the minister in his last interview said what? 1.5 billion.
Right.
1.5 billion is no mean feat. To move a company that was never at the table because at that point, everybody had to carry ECG. And in carrying ECG, what did it mean? You understand? Now, the main way or the single way for you to collect revenue is through meters.
Right.
Metering. Now, the question is, what's the lifespan of a prepaid meter? That's one thing most people don't know. Prepaid meters do expire.
And when they do, I mean, there's no way of checking the consumption level
it is not
of consumers.
So PURC will do a beautiful job of giving ECG a tariff. ECG will fire the tariff into the meter while you are enjoying 2013 meter. Unfortunately for maybe Sule is on the 2022 meter, so he will receive the new tariff. Most of the meters are all, prepaid metering started under President Akuffo.
We'll come to the way forward.
I'm building the backstory
so that I can allow
I'm building the backstory for you. So, in deciding to embark on the digitization journey, we called a few people in place. There was an unsolicited proposal which was going to be even considered under PDS, which we saw went through the whole thing. We changed how we procured meters. We changed how we installed meters. As at the time that I got into office, ECG had a huge lack of meters in the system, and ECG's installation was about 2,500 meters a month. As at the time I was leaving office, they were such an efficient machine that they were doing about 100,000 meter installations in a month. All of these things require investment.
Right.
You cannot have a multi-billion-dollar or billion CD industry in Ghana and not invest in it. I sometimes hear the whole conversation around it, and then you realize that, look, yes, ECG's debt. Oh, this is ECG's debt. But nobody fails to calculate what portion of the debt falls under, what do you call it? Forex losses. What is the portion? Because every single implement in ECG is in USD. From the you buy electricity in dollars, you sell it in cedis. By the
for high POG Media, and Uncle Pong show be what the bread. I heard you material bedroom pepper, so we drew a fan at us. Now, who heard you material and never shows how well like it. Or share, no subscribe to the channel, and say, where political trending news be a good tree corporate my babiano. Once her and so ever to me, Akabi POG Media. So, I had to be Mahama, now managing director or ECG. About containers a yaya and a Honsen Pima. And as I'm getting across, see, and what's about joy news are overcoming and be brave. Minjo be memorable, so my master was a mummy on your cotier, then to us so. No, me do be answer as you heard me dear.
Before you endorse that board, that policy, before you give that green light, we presume, say, you have read that policy before you basically give it an endorsement. And now, if it's about money, you give the green light for money to be pumped into that policy. For you being on the ECG board before becoming the ECG MD, then basically you should have a prior knowledge of how ECG operates. You have no room, no excuse to give to us. Because all the things you are talking about, that time I would be a human who say Mike Tyson proverb beach say so who ring grima punch is different, you know. You already had an idea about what will happen in the ring because you were on the board. You looked through every policy document that was presented to the board. Into then we better join news catch say the ECG, you know, it has never made any money. And the ECG, everything about it, when it comes to revenue, they have never been to the table. Meaning, ECG has been running debt from Tete. There was never a point at ECG could breaking even. Mamin Chawa DB. Maybe I make sure BB. Oh, say in some occasion, say ECG, no, a kana meneomo. ECG, no, they don't even have money to, at the end of the day, use in the operationalization of ECG. Okay? Akwa time or ECG boss no. In some okay, time I work as ECG and you know that time I know 2023 they were donating 200 motorbikes to Ghana Police Service, an institution that is not able to meet its obligation. ECG institutional and to me sika and fambo ECG no brano. The ECG is able to raise money to buy 200 motorbikes before elections to give to that police service. The question here is, ECG priorities in any day. This is under Dubik Mahama. And I'm going to show you Tama Dubik Mahama sika we akoto motorbikes ama ECG Ghana Police no. Na ECG omo numbers saying. Because from what you are telling us no, ECG basically is always bankrupt. ECG does not make any serious revenue. So if ECG wasn't making any revenue, yeah, I'll do that. If ECG wasn't making any revenue, how were you able to raise money to buy 200 motorbikes to give to Ghana Police Service? If you really say you are a manager who is looking out for the company and making sure your priorities are right, how were you able to raise 200 motorbikes? Where did you get the money? Because from the donation on the site of ECG, under your watch, Dubik Mahama, you presented 200 motorbikes to the police service. Now, this is the picture. You can see clearly. This is Dubik Mahama presenting motorbikes to the Ghana Police Service 2023. So the question here is, if ECG is not breaking even, if ECG is a company that is making losses under your watch every single day, the question is, where were you raising the 200 motorbikes money from? Was it from your pocket? Or it was from the same ECG that was not even breaking even? Now, my main show data no any chart no. Now my show BB about NPP for we. A simple data. Joy news for Nankasa and a Kuibaye. My main show on fan compare Dubik Mahama and Samaoka. Now we the dangerous and seriousness of the corruption now. Yeah, can want them every single day. Because yeah, when I'm radio, so I comfort them. Interviews. Dubik Mahama a way. The who fee way such a drug addict. Maybe I make sure the real Dubik Mahama. Drugs now I say you. I will show you who he is. Okay? You see this? Let me show you this. You see this data? Look at the data carefully. I'm make sure I DB. You see, so I'll check ECG profitability 2012 to 2023. Dubik Mahama, a cover period and now your ECG boss. From in 2020, 2012, the first one, na ECG making loss of 136 million Ghana cedis. That was NDC time. 2013, na ECG was making a loss of 246 million. NDC time. Yeah, the data nature. In 2014, that was when Dumso was about to pick up. Even in 2014, a Canada ECG day, a tip from 246 million to 38 million. Something happened, and I'm a boy. Now, Dumso hit in 2015. ECG a cost could do 291 million. This is under NDC. Now look at 2016. Baby a green one. Baby a green one. Answer na John Mahama free power no. Na ECG a breaking even and make profit to 209 million. 2015 na ECG a make loss of 291 million. Meaning time na John Mahama eja ECG ashe NPP nsemuno. Na ECG had broken even. Na ECG debt and swallow omo. Sa time Akuffo Ameri car power. Time John Mahama solve Dumso or handy over 2016 power ECG Edema NPP for no. Na ECG had made profit of 209 million Ghana cedis. Na ECG deka. So data we me boa joy news for boa. Now in 2017, Nana Danko Akuffo mobile power ECG ekano bedru 497 million. NDC ja 209 million profits eto ho. Nana Akuffo ne NPP for bar power ekano esaba back to 497 million. 2018 about 2.2 billion. They were not paying. Nana Danko Akuffo and NPP for they were owing, they were not paying. Into a kind of ECG deno, a jumping from a year 497 million in 2016, 2017, in 2018, it came straight to 2.2 billion under NPP. Shesibia echo. Now, 2019, if you 2.2 billion echo 1.46 billion. Now, election year 2020, ECG making profit of 410 million. Election year. Ask yourself why. Because that was the time they were trying to prove to Ghanaians said they can keep the power on. Into a canano muntiano, they start to settle some. Into then they start to make it look like say power nijina. So into which the second one now 2020 then ECG ebenya infrastructure 410 million. Abrana 2019 omdeka 1.4 billion. Now how do you see it? Right after election 2020, ECG sako back echo bought a cat 1.45 billion. 2022 under Dubik Mahama, ECG accounted from 1.4 billion, it bedrew 8.6 billion. All this while, from 2021 to 2023, na afenyo marking, omuna no more run ECG. Aya Keligajepo, afenyo marking mo. That is the time at Dubik Mahama mono. A cano from 2020, right after election, a jampoko 1.4 billion. 2022, a cano jampiko drew 8.6 billion. 2023, Dubik Mahama every power, every ECG, equity say on your humani bibuno. Time afenyo marking air board chair. 2023 before 2024 na ECG at the cat 10.2 billion. Into the only time ECG and the NPP make sika a COVID-19 era sika. Every World Bank and the IMF they lied and creating impression say everything is right. Into so we study chart now. You can see clearly say right now, as we speak, Omuja ECG dema NDC January 2025 no na ECG de ka 40 billion. And na Samuel Abujina po beka kire mo no. In 2023 no na ECG ka 10 billion. From 2023 to 2024, first 7 January 2025 no na ECG NPP ka omuja to na 40 billion.
Yankopon show bibia on your media be between purpose. We do bibia say aha ye POG Media. Aha na dwumadie no ebema me kwan se memfa ebusuafo monsi. To bibia wajebre. Uguzo aha dwumadie be between purpose we na like subscribe to the channel send you political trending news be go to cover media. POG Media so na majepen say ebusuafo me updated political news and kwa and bebrem. Hana dwumadie no bɛma mkwan sɛ memfa mu nsi. Mede obi biase na afei nso makram.